Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a login and sign up form. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start by creating a new folder on our desktop. I'm going to name this login form. I'm just going to go ahead and open it with my VS Code. Okay, so I'm going to come here and create a new HTML file, which I'll name login.html. And then I'm going to generate the HTML boilerplate. Alright, so let me just change our title to login page. Alright, then I'm going to come to the body tag. I'm going to create a div with a class of container. I'm going to create a form. The action is going to be submit. Inside our form, I'm going to create a header with the h1 tag. This is going to have a header of login. So let me just open this on our browser. Going to open this to the side first. So as you can see, this is our header login. So let's open our windows side by side. Alright, that's good. So under our h1 tag, we're going to create a div with the class of input bar. And I'm just going to say required to make sure that the user must fill in this input field. Okay, so we're going to just copy this div and paste it again by holding down the shift, alternate and down arrow key. I'm going to change this type to password, and the placeholder is going to be password as well. So as you can see, our input is looking good. So the next thing we want to do is to create another div just under this div. Another div with a class of remember, forget. Okay, and inside that div, we're going to have a label. And inside our label, we're going to have a checkbox input. Okay, I'm just going to pick this option. So the name is going to be remember me, and the ID is going to be remember. So we're going to give our 4 attributes of the label the same name with our ID. I'm going to show you why in a sec. So let me just type remember me here. We're going to have this. When we give our label the same name with our ID, when you click on remember me, it automatically checks the box. Okay, so let me get rid of this and show you the difference. When I click on this, it doesn't check the box anymore. You have to click inside the box for it to get checked. Okay, so that's just the difference. Let's put that back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to create a link just below the label. I'm going to use the A tag. The href is going to, let me just put the hashtag, and I'm going to say forgot password, and then just below this div, I'm going to create a button, and it's going to have a type of submit. Okay, so I'm just going to say, I'm going to come here and type login. But our button is going to have a class of btn. Okay, so next below our button, we're going to create another div with the class of login sign up. And inside that div, we're going to have a p tag, and this is going to say don't have an account. And then we're going to create a link. Okay, this link is going to direct us to the sign up page. Let me just put a hashtag for now. And inside it is going to say sign up. So that's looking good. So now we're just going to start styling our page with CSS. I'm going to come here and create a CSS file, style.css. Okay, but first of all, I'll make sure it's linked to my HTML. Under the title tag inside our head, remember, I'm going to use the link tag. And just here, I'm going to select our CSS file. Let's go to our finished project. Let me just refresh this. We have these icons here, so I'm just going to import it from this website, box icons. Okay, under usage, I'm going to come over here and just copy the CSS link. I'm going to copy it and I'll paste it into the head of my HTML. Just here. Okay, then I'm going to go back and select the elements that I want to use. I'm going to type user here, and I'm going to pick this one. Let's copy the font, and in our username input, I'm going to come below and paste. Okay, and we also want to use lock, and I'll copy the font, and under our password input, I'm going to paste that as well. All right, so let's go back to our page. Everything is looking good, so we can begin styling with CSS. I'm just going to type the universal selector, and of course set the margin to 0, padding 0, and box sizing to border box. Next, we're going to style the body. Before we start the body, let's import our fonts for our page. Okay, I'm going to go to Google Fonts. I already have the website here, so I want to use the Poppins fonts. Let me just type it. Okay, this one. Okay, so I'm just going to click on Get Font, Get Embed Code. Okay, so I'm going to click on Import. Let me copy this way. Okay, copy. I'm going to paste it into my CSS just above the universal selector. Paste. So let's go back to our page. Inside the body, I'm going to say font family Poppins. We can now use Poppins since we have imported the Google fonts. Okay, so as you can see, our font has changed. Next, we're going to say display flex because we want to center everything in the middle. We want to center our elements to the middle. Okay, justify contents, center, align items, center. Then we're going to set a minimum height of 100 ph. As you can see, it's now properly centered in the middle. Next, we're going to give it a background color. Let's just say background of, let's say, red. Next, we're going to style our container. Remember our container from our HTML. Okay, this class. So I'm going to use a dot because it's a class container. I'm going to give it a width of 420 pixels, height of 550 pixels, And let me just give it a color so we can see what we're designing. The color is going to be green. So as you can see, this is our container. So next we want to style our login header. It's inside the h1 tag inside our container. So I'm going to style it in our CSS. I'm going to type the container class again and the h1 tag. I'm going to give it a font size of 35 pixels and I'm going to align it to the center. Next, I'm going to add the color here for all the elements in our container. It's all going to be white. Okay, so all right. Next, we want to style our input fields. Remember, they are inside our container. So container, and I'm going to type the classes that we use in our HTML, which is input bar. I'll set the position to relative. It's going to have a width of 100% and the height of 40 pixels. Let me give it a color so you can see what we are doing. Let's give it a color of, sorry, I meant a background color, okay? It's going to be black. As you can see, that's our two input fields, okay? And it's going to have a margin of 30 pixels, 0. All right. So as you can see, the 30 pixels is for up and down, and the 0 is for the left and right sides. Okay. The next, we want to style the input fields inside this class, inside the input bar class. So we're going to call the input bar class and the input field. We're going to give it a width of 100% again and a height of 100%. Let's give it a background of transparent. Then the border is going to be set to none. Same with the outline. I'm going to give it a border of 2 pixels solid. I'll give it this RGB value. Then the border radius will be set to 30 pixels. Font size will be set to 20 pixels. And the color is going to be white. I'm going to have a padding of 20 pixels, 45 pixels, 20 pixels, and 20 pixels. So next, let's style the placeholder inside the input. I'm going to say input bar, input, and then placeholder. The color is going to be set to this. And it's going to have a font size of 16 pixels. So next, let's style the icons inside our input field, because we want them to be inside the inputs, okay? We'll set the position to absolute. Remember, we had already set our inputs over here to relative. We set the position here to relative. So we can now style our icons inside our input, okay? So that's why we set the position to absolute. We're going to have a right spacing of 18 pixels. Top will be set to 50%. And transform will be set to translate by minus 50%. And the font size will be set to 20 pixels. So next, let's style the remember and forgot password container. remember, forget. I'll give it a display of flex. Justify contents will be set to space between, because I want space between them. You can see there's a space between remember me and forgot password. The font size is going to be 15 pixels, and I'll give them a margin of 50 pixels and 10 pixels. Alright, that's looking good. Next, I'm just going to style this checkbox. As you can see, when I click on it, it has a color, it has an ash color. So I want to remove that ash color. I'm going to say remember forget, label, input. I'm going to change the accent color to white. When I click on it now, it now has a white color. And I'll give it a margin right of, let's say, 4 pixels. Or let's make that 6. Alright, that's looking good. Next, we're going to style the links using the A tag. I'm going to say remember, A, color will be set to white. The text decoration will be set to none. So I'm going to copy this. I want to style it on hover. Just going to paste it down here. I'm going to type hover. So on hover, I want my links to have an underline. When I hover over this link, it has an underline. Okay. And next, I'm going to style our button. That is this login button hiding over there. So container btn is going to have a width of 100% and a height of 42 pixels. The background is going to be set to white, and the border is going to be none. It's going to have an outline set to none, and the border radius will be 40 pixels. Box shadow will be set to 0, 0, 10 pixels, and to have this color. I'll set the cursor to pointer, and the font size is going to be 16 pixels. The color is going to have this color, and the font weight is going to be set to 600. Sorry, this is supposed to be font size. Alright, looking good. So next, we want to style the button on hover. I'm just going to copy this and paste down here. And I'll say hover. Background will be set to RGB. And hover, I want the color to change to white. And I'm just going to give it a transition of 0.4 seconds. Okay, so that it changes slowly. Okay, let's see that. I'm going to add this transition here as well. Okay, so you can see that's good. So next, we want to start our login and sign up link. I'm going to give it a font size of 15 pixels. Now align it to the center. And it's going to have a margin top of 40 pixels. Next, we want to style the A tag, that is our link. The color will be set to white. Text decoration will be set to none. Font size will be set to 18 pixels. And the font weight is going to be 600. So I'm just going to copy this and paste. So I'll say hover, and I'll just set the text decoration to underline. Okay, so that's all. We're just going to get rid of these colors. First is green. Alright, first of all, let's add the background, okay, because we want to add this image background, as you can see here. So I already have my image. I'm just going to go to images, and then I'm going to copy this and paste into my VS Code folder, and I'm just going to paste this here. If I open my folder, you can see our image is now there. So I'm going to go back to body, and I'm going to remove this color. Let's go back to our page. I'm going to remove this color, and instead I'm going to put a URL that is linking my image. Okay, so I'm going to type this and select my image. So now our image is linked, as you can see. I'm just going to say background size cover, background position will be set to center. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these colors. I'll get rid of the color on my input as well, right here. So we're going to give our container a plasmorphism look, and I'll just say background transparent, border will be set to 2 pixels, solid RGBA. Now come down and say backdrop filter. It's going to be set to blur 10 pixels, and the box shadow will be set to 0, 0, 30 pixels RGBA. Then I'll give it a border radius of 10 pixels and a padding of 30 pixels, 40 pixels. Okay, so I think we're done. You can see everything is looking good actually. So we're just going to go ahead and create the sign up page. Okay, let's go back, and I'm just going to come here and create another HTML for the sign up page. I'm going to name this sign up.html. So I'm just going to go to my login, and I'm going to copy basically everything on this page. So Control A and copy. I'm just going to paste it into my sign up page. But what we need to do, the important thing we need to do is to connect them together. So how do we connect them? Remember, I created an href attribute. So I'm just going to come here and type this. We can see all our files. I'm going to connect our sign up.html to the login by selecting it. I'm going to go back to the sign up and do the same thing. Just over here, we're going to link our login.html. Alright, so now that they are both linked, I'm going to come to the sign up and just change a few things. First of all, I'll change the title to sign up page. Okay, then I'm going to come here and say sign up. As you can see, it's changing. Then what else? I'm going to add another input field just between the username and password. That will be for email. So let me go ahead and copy this, and I'm just going to paste it again. So I'm going to change the type to email, change the placeholder to email. I'm just going to change this, the icon, to envelope. Alright, so as you can see, what else? I'm going to delete this forgot password because we don't need it on the sign up page. I want to delete it. I'm just going to come here and change this to I agree to the terms and conditions. I'm going to put terms and conditions inside an A tag so that it will be a link leading to the terms and conditions. Then I'm going to change this login button to sign up. And here, over here, we're going to say already have an account. Okay, so I already have an account. We can now say login. Alright, so I think we're done. Yeah, I think we're done. I'm just going to increase the padding of this a little bit. The height actually. I'm going to come back to my CSS and just increase it a bit. Let's say 570. Okay, is that better? Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this project. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and if you found any value in this video, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.